Hi, so for this video, I'm going to be talking about the internal threats to validity. Basically, the one that I'm going to be speaking about is called maturation. So to start off, let me explain what internal validity actually is. So it's based on your findings in any type of research or experiment that you're running. It's basically when you're trying to minimize error in the study and you're trying to make it as accurate as possible, so then you can use your research for to further something else. And obviously you don't want any misleading information. You're trying to make it as useful as possible. And one threat to that is maturation, which basically is the effect of time on the experiment. As we know, a lot of experiments or studies don't just happen in one day, in a couple hours. They're usually long lasting. Some can take up to years. It really depends on the type of research that you're doing, but typically they take a while. So this is when the subjects are essentially maturing. So everybody kind of knows what maturing is. We've been through it. You're kind of just growing up. Your feelings, your thoughts, your emotions change, and it's how those things impact the study. So you're kind of facing changes, like biological or psychological changes that are affecting the actual study. So an example would be if you're doing a study on how asthma affects children. So you're looking at, let's say, the decrease in hospital visits for these particular patients with asthma. You're kind of seeing the over time that these visits to the ER are decreasing, and you're kind of asking yourself, are the visits to the ER decreasing because the child's getting older and outgrowing the asthma, or is it because the actual thing that you're testing is helping them? Let's say you're trying to give them a treatment, is this specific medication helping them? It leaves you asking, is it the medication or are the children just growing? That's an example of how time affects the research study. These kids are naturally just growing up, and they might just be growing out of their asthma, or it might be the actual treatment itself. And that can lead to a lot of errors in the study, and you don't really want to question yourself when you're trying to do some research. So that is a threat. Thank you.